The Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, the calendar is saying October, but the weather screaming August, and that's what we're going to have over the next several days. A good scattering of storms today, but fewer storms tomorrow and Wednesday. We do think that's going to allow for that daytime heating to kick up into the lower 90s, and the heat index today at noon was 103 in Lafayette before the storms kicked in, and I added to some of the instability this afternoon, but that is just disgusting for the month of October, any day in October, although early October you can see it happening more than later in October. But as we take a look at the radar this afternoon, here's a 6-hour loop of the showers and storms, and you can see how things fired up across St. Mary, Iberia Parish, Lafayette Parish, and then worked its way to the north with the heaviest storms pretty much out of Acadiana now. Still some pretty active storms across western and southwestern Louisiana. Most active one in southwestern Beauregard Parish. Activity moving north, some gusty winds, locally very heavy downpours here. Few other spots where we're still seeing some locally heavy rainfall across the area, but things beginning to calm down. We go farther to the east and northeast. Still a moderate rainfall. Veil plot down through Opelousas and up through the Washington area and then into Avoyelles Parish. So that one cell just exiting northeastern Avoyelles Parish. And then locally some patchy light rain here and there. Things beginning to quiet down though, but still the risk of sprinkles through about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, and then things quiet down for good. Maybe a little patchy fog later on tonight, and it looks like the all clear going down into Iberia and much of St. Mary Parish late this afternoon, early this evening. So as we look at the infrared satellite imagery, a disturbance over by southeast Texas this afternoon, firing up late this morning, early this afternoon. Then watch how that disturbance propagates into Louisiana, manifesting in mostly cloudy skies, so not much of a sunset this evening for sure, but things will thin out later on tonight. Meanwhile, in the tropics, eastern Pacific, active tropical storm Rosa delivering heavy rainfall to the southwest U.S. over the next couple of days. Sergio, a tropical storm, but that looks to become a hurricane, maybe a major hurricane down the line, but we don't think it's going to have impacts on the U.S. down the road. Meanwhile, we get into the Caribbean, still watching the remnants of Kirk, but nothing organized here. Long-range models and climatology dictates Northwest Caribbean up through Florida, Bahamas, maybe Eastern Gulf, maybe the rest of the Caribbean. Still under the gun for something to develop as we get into the second week of October. And then we get into the open Atlantic. Tropical storm Leslie, 60-mile-per-hour winds, getting more organized. And we do think this is going to become a hurricane down the line. You could almost see an eye feature during the course of the day today on the satellite imagery. So 60-mile-an-hour winds right now, but it's going to become a hurricane. And watch the movement on this system. It drops to the south-southwest, then it moves back to the north in the open oceans, but this will be continuing to produce swells there, reaching the east coast, the Bahamas, and portions of the Caribbean, since it's such a fairly significant swirl in the middle of the Atlantic. Meanwhile, for us, it's going to be quiet overnight tonight, maybe a little light fog by tomorrow morning, but it shouldn't be a major issue. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, mixture of sun and clouds through lunchtime. Should be okay for lunch if you have outgoing lunch plans. And then by the latter part of the afternoon, a scattering of showers and a few thunderstorms. But again, rain chances closer to 20 or 30% for tomorrow. And we'll do it again on Wednesday. And temperatures, that'll be the stored temperatures well above normal for this time of year. Normally, mid-60s should be the low, closer to the mid-70s tonight. Normally, mid-80s the high, upper 80s to lower 90s tomorrow, with that heat index approaching 100 during the course of tomorrow afternoon. And much the same Wednesday into Wednesday afternoon, although this model going for a slightly better chance of an afternoon storm. We're going to go with that too at 30% for Wednesday. So showers ending across the board later on tonight. Light fog later on, 73 the low. Then for tomorrow, we'll see a hot and humid heat index, 98 to 103. Fewer afternoon storms, but we're not going to eliminate the rain chances. 91 the projected high, and there we go. Here's that 10-day forecast, looking more like August or early September for sure, with highs upper 80s to lower 90s for the foreseeable future. Rain chances up and down, a little bit up for Thursday, back down for Friday, but back up we think for the weekend, going off the European model. And not much change to the forecast. Maybe some tropical activity east of us toward the end of next week, which could induce drier air. Not much cooler air, but we'll take drier. If we can eliminate the humidity, it starts feeling better already.
You said the heat index was what today?
103 at noon.
And it's October 1st.
That's disgusting.
October 1st.
On
yeah.
October 1st, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the month ends on a cooler
Yeah,
note.
it should. It better. If not,
We're in trouble.
There's
yeah.
a fundamental change going on with the world, right?
Let's hope not. Thanks, Rob.